The idea of zombie hunting is nothing new. Ever since LucasArts had them dining upon my neighbors in 1993, a corner of the video game market has been obsessed with the shambling hordes of undead. You really need a strong premise to stand out amongst your risings, islands, Plants vs. in varying states of decay. Being able to missile dropkick a zombie off a balcony like a WrestleMania spot gone wrong is a pretty good way to go. Since 2015, Techland's Dying Light has done a decent job of carving out a little niche in this market, combining the joy of parkour with the horror of zombies, like the most panicked version of Bear's Edge minus the mid-2000s Apple Store shaded white. The latest in their Run, Jump, and Slay series is Dying Light the Beast. A bit of a return to form, but in a different setting and a key change in the arsenal. Is this beast of a game good enough to run wild through the industry? Or is it tamer than the name implies? Originally planned as an expansion for Dying Light 2, the Beast evolved into a full game on its own. Bringing back Kyle Crane, the hero from the first game, it drops him, and by extension you, into a new region called Castor Woods roughly 13 years after we last saw him. In that time, he's been going through some things. Primarily years of torturous experiments making him part man, part monster, and all badass. This results in the ability to go beast mode and absolutely tear things up. Combining that with the open world parkour-inspired gameplay provides the player with a major sandbox filled with dark forests, dead creatures, and plenty of things to punch. Does that resonate with critics? Seems to so far, with a pretty decent Open Critic rating of 82 and a 90% recommendation rate, placing it firmly in the realm of strong. But let's break down how exactly it landed this score. Our very own Josh Kotz here at Game Rant reviewed Dying Light the Beast, and lucky him, seems like he really enjoyed it, calling it one of the most polished and engaging Dying Light games yet. He emphasized that while the game's primary revenge plot is serviceable, Kyle was captured and tortured by the Baron and now wants to rip him a new one, it's the side quests and world building that really give the game the art. He praised the richly designed open world and the plethora of side missions that offer deliver heartfelt or at least interesting stories alongside the classic zombie carnage. It also sounds like Techland dialed up the tension a bit more in the dark, making nighttime excursions absolutely terrifying. As a note, Josh played this on the PC, which seems to add one more feather into Techland's cap, with Josh saying, performance-wise, with how sprawling it is and how chaotic things can be at times, Dying Light the Beast runs like a dream on the PC. Frame rates are stable, loading times are short, and while there were one or two moments where I experienced strange visual artifacts, they were fleeting and not worth a second thought. I can't speak for its console performance, but PC seems to be well optimized. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, as Josh noted a few shortcomings. As mentioned, the main storyline won't blow anyone's mind, and there are some rare occurrences when the parkour doesn't quite stick the landing.
Dying Light the Beast parkour can be hit and miss at times.
More hit than miss, but inconsistent nonetheless. There are moments when Kyle won't climb for some reason, and while those moments are fairly rare, they can be frustrating when they occur. It's also somewhat easy to get caught on random terrain while moving, which can either ruin momentum or subject you to attacks from the infected. He also notes that the crafting mechanic feels a little too lopsided. The cost of crafting and the rarity of certain resources made the mechanic feel more frustrating at times than it should have been, especially the more fun to use weapons like the bow. But despite that, the gameplay loop and the sheer polish of the experience kept him hooked for hours, and in the end, Game Rant scored Dying Light the Beast an 8 out of 10, a great score and a strong endorsement, especially for fans of the series. So that's our take. Oh, what about the rest of the gaming sphere? There are a few differing opinions, but overall the sentiment remained the same. Almost everyone agrees that combat in The Beast is fantastic. Visceral, weighty, gruesomely satisfying. Parkour also remains a highlight, which is to be expected since that has always been a strong feature of the series. Many reviewers claim that nighttime is scarier than ever, with the super aggressive volatiles constantly on the prowl as a standout element. GameSpot's Mark Delaney states,
"The series' night sequences have never been this scary before, partly because of the ample wooded areas that make up the map. I love it. Night remains an XP booster too, doubling any gains you make. In past games, I'd use that boon to fulfill some side missions overnight, but in Dying Light the Beast, I rarely try to do more than make it to my nearest safe zone so I can skip time until the protective sun returned."
Games Radar showed similar enjoyment, with Jasmine Gold Wilson calling the game a staggering achievement. And while they aren't reinventing the wheel, by focusing on what works, they have released what Jasmine feels is the best Dying Light game yet. IGN and PC Gamer were a little more reserved with their praise, giving the game the oft-beloved 7 out of 10 score. The nothing new, same old of it all left a slightly more sour taste to them, but overall it's still a very good game. This same old, though, worked in most people's favor. George Foster of The Gamer sums it up quite well, stating, "Dying Light the Beast might repeat some of the mistakes of the previous games, but it also brings back everything that worked and focuses on them while delivering a more interesting story set in the series' most unique location yet. The Beast might have started as DLC for the more ambitious Dying Light 2, but its contained success ends up being closer to the sequel we all asked for than that game ever was." The general consensus is that Dying Light the Beast is a win for Techland and for fans of the series, with some reviewers hailing it as perhaps the best entry in the Dying Light series so far, or at least a much-needed return to the quality and feel of the beloved first game. It appears Techland listened to feedback. They brought back Kyle Crane, brought back the darker horror vibe, and focused on making a tight, fun, zombie-killing adventure without a lot of extraneous filler. And it worked! With that 82 critic average and 90% recommendation rate, it's hard not to see Dying Light the Beast as anything other than strong. At least strong enough to crush a zombie's head with your bare hands. If you're a fan of the original Dying Light or just love zombie action games, this game should be on your radar. It's more of the same, just a little more finely tuned. But if you were hoping for a huge innovation or brand new direction, don't get your hopes up. The Beast plays it somewhat safe. At least safer than traveling through Castle Woods at night. But what do you think? Are you excited to jump back into Kyle Crane's beastly shoes and experience this new adventure? Do you agree with these reviews? Let us know in the comments. And for day and night coverage across the games industry, stay tuned right here to Game Rant.